is on my pointe shoes. If you guys have been following me long enough, you know more of the story, but I'll kind of go into a little bit of detail. I went on pointe originally in probably like 2002 or 3. Gosh, I can't remember. My original pair of pointe shoes are not here because they're framed in my office, so sometimes I make videos, but more for TikTok, you'll see them framed. I think they were either Ballet Makers, which is now Capezio, or Grishko, but I'm pretty sure they were Ballet Makers first. And then I wore Grishko 2007s for a long time, and nobody told me, and somebody should have, that those did not fit me well, and they were terrible. I also had the most giant gel toe pads. Terrible. But back then, the options were like lamb's wool or giant gel toe pads. That was it. I'm aging myself here. And lamb's wool was awful. I hated that. My teacher made us use it for a while and it was awful. And I had ingrown toenails like every week that prevented me from really advancing because my toes were in so much pain. I have learned now, and granted we have come a long way since then, that there are a lot of other options so that you're not in constant pain, or at least you can manage it better with different styles of shoes, padding, all sorts of things. I love second skin squares, or the little, whatever the gel squares are that I have now. Those are amazing. But I also love my perfect fit pointe pads. I've gone through so many and I still have a pair in my closet that I can make whenever I finally need to, because these are getting a little worn. But I thought I would go through my pointe shoes again because it's been a while. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to do it. A lot of these are like the same shoes over and over again. I'll explain how I have them organized first. Oh, but back to my original story here. Sorry, my brain. I started in like 2002, 2003. I took a break in the middle of high school to the end because my mom said you have to pick either dance or school sports, which was still like gymnastics and dance team and cheerleading, but still I chose school. So I didn't get back into ballet classes again until I left for college. And then I was taking like just like the generic ones that you could take for like gen ed kind of ones. And then I would take a few classes here and there when I would come home, or like back in like, I think 2010 or 11 maybe or so, I started taking some more, a little bit more consistently again at my old studio and at another studio. I even took them with my mom, which was really fun. And those, most of the time I was still on flat. Occasionally I would do pointe shoes again, and that's when I got fit for European balances, the block ones, which were much better fit for me, much better. Because I was still wearing my Grishkos at that point. That was bad. Actually, at that point too, I think I had also been fit for another pair of Grishkos, and they were terrible. I don't like Grishkos. They don't work for me. I've tried. So I had all those. I want to say, I don't think I did a whole lot more of pointe work again until about 2015, when I moved away to North Carolina and I was bored and lonely in the middle of nowhere and I needed a new hobby to just entertain myself. That's when I got into photography, and that's when I got into ballet again. So I started classes again there, and I learned that I had pretty much been incorrectly taught like my entire life. So I'm still struggling to recover from that. I was doing really good for a while there until about 2021 when I met my husband, and then my interest changed again. So now that I'm back in classes again, I'm working back to get things, but I know more of what I should be doing now. My body just doesn't love to work the way it should because I'm older now. I'm almost 40. So I have, over the last like 10 years now, because 2015 to 2025, accumulated this, pretty much all this, yeah. So it's a lot, but a lot of it's been just trial and error. And when you have adult money and you can keep trying new pointe shoes to find what works for you, you do it. Because for a long time, this was my life. I just focused on ballet and that was it. And this is where all my money went. Like, I just was like, I want to do ballet, I want to do ballet, I want to do ballet. And I didn't get to do shows. I was doing classes multiple times a week, doing privates. It was great. And then we got engaged and I was like, well, we need to save money now. So we got this house that purposely has this space, and I thought I'll just do a lot of classes in here because I did them all during COVID. I thought no problem. For whatever reason, it's been really hard to do. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just because I prefer spending time with my husband so much that it's hard for me to like step away and do things like this for myself. I'm getting better at that, but I just really love spending time with him. So anyway, now that I'm actually back in classes, because even he sees how much it means to me, and like, we're like, we'll make it work financially. I may not be able to go every week, but I can go a few times a month to get an in-person class, which is really making a difference, not just in my mental health, but I can already tell the difference it's making in my body since having my surgery back in June, which really set me back. So anyway, that's where we are now. So the first one's here. I should hopefully have already posted my really terrible review of the Block Flexus. These are both pairs. These are the Kaya and the Sky. I don't like them. I may have to do a lot more to make them work for me. They're not like Freeds. They're painful. Then we have, let's see, this is the bag, the box, the bin, whatever, of shoes that I am going through, have worn, things like that, that are still good. They're not dead. including the ones down here in front of me or next to me, because these are the ones I'm actually like really wearing. The ones in bags of the Freeds, because if y'all were around for the bug incident like 2 years ago when I found a bag full of bugs in one of my Freeds that thankfully I had kept in the bag. I don't know if it was one that I got off eBay or what. I was terrified that all my shoes were gonna have bugs after that, so I kept them in bags so that if it happens, they can't get all over the rest of my shoes. I threw out that one pair, but I've been terrified ever since, and apparently that's a more of a Freed issue than anybody else because of the paste they use. So I don't always keep all my Freeds in bags, but I just feel like that kind of helps things. I think I actually have some old dead pairs in here that are not in bags, so maybe they should be. But yeah, I have my current shoes are all here, which are my Freed. These are classic Pro 90s. I also love like the regular classics. I have my Suffolk Sonnets. I have my USA made gainers, very specifically. And then my Block Heritage Strong. Those are the ones I'm keeping out most of the time. This bin is full of, well, extra stuff, but it's also full of shoes that I have not worn yet. So I have a new pair of Suffolks, some new Freeds, other Suffolks. The gainers, the European gainers are there because if I have to, I'll wear them, but they don't work. I have one more pair of USA made gainers. People are probably like, why do you have so many pairs that you'll wear that are different? And I'm like, you know what? It just kind of depends. Gainers are usually my photo shoot shoes because I'm not worried about destroying them because they really can't be destroyed. And then on top of that, if I was in a time where I'm like, hey, I can't afford to be buying new shoes and I'm killing my shoes because I'm sweating so much in them, which is kind of what's happening right now in class, I'm going to have to go to my gainers because I need them to last longer because I can't afford to keep buying shoes now. So adult responsibilities now. So that's what all those are. The duffel bag back there, you probably didn't notice that. It's all gainers. Over the years when I kept trying them or when I wore a different style, originally, these are my red gainers back when they made these. These are of 3-box and that's what I used to wear. And for a long time that worked. And then I realized I hate that and I want a 4-box because I like more stability when I started doing more like things like pirouettes on point, which I'm not doing at the moment. I'm not used to filming on this camera and overheated. So I don't remember what I was saying before that. But I'm gonna try and go through these just a little bit, but I don't really plan to do a deep dive because you guys have seen all the videos I have in the past of when I did do that. So I explained the shoes that I'm currently wearing. I'm not trying them all on either because that would take me like hours. So I'm gonna push those aside. Same with the new shoes there because nothing's different in those. And nothing's really different in any of these either. So those are all shoes that work, that I'm still using, and they're all variations of the ones I mentioned. Oh my gosh, this is so heavy. I do have shoes all around the house that are also in decoration spots, as well as old beat up photo shoot shoes that are not in here. So I also don't think all my colored shoes are in here because, I don't know, they might be at the bottom, but these are my red gainers. They don't make these anymore because I was really sad I was gonna get a new pair with a 4-box and they don't make them. So I have, these are Suffolk Stellar. These are actually ones that I think someone gave me. Yeah, these are ones someone gave me to try because they didn't work for them. So I didn't pay for those. Suffolk Sonnet, there's a lot of sonnets. These are sonnets. Yep, sonnets. These are sonnets. Suffolk had the prettiest pink. Sonnets. There's another one here somewhere. I don't know where it is, but oh, probably this one. Okay, sonnets. These are Block Heritage. I can tell by the shape. I still love the shape of Block Heritage. Like, they are so pretty. More sonnet. Yep. No, these are Spotlights. Spotlights did not work for me. Spotlights and Stellars did not work, but Spotlights especially did not work for me. I think I have like 2 pairs of Spotlights because I tried them again later and I still didn't like them. More sonnets. I think all my Suffolks are at the top. Oh yeah, here's the original Spotlights because I tried like breaking out the shank and putting tape in there. It did not work at all. Let me try and pull those out first because that would make more sense. Okay, that might have been the last of the sonnets, maybe. I don't know. We might find more in here. Oh, these are more. Okay. So we might find more because I think there were. I've worn a lot of sonnets. I love them. These are Capezio Avas, which I just tried them on again recently to see how they fit now because I loved these shoes when I originally wore them, but they like hurt my big toenail so bad that I finally eventually had to not wear them. But I really liked these. They do not feel good now when I tried them on, so I probably wouldn't wear them again. But those are Capezio Avas. These are probably Avas as well because I did go through a few pairs. Sometimes it's hard to tell actually because they don't have the name. I did try the Donatellos too, which maybe that's this pair. I don't know. Those look like Avas too. I don't know. One of these pairs at least is something different, but either way, those didn't work for me anymore. These are Block Jet Streams. I think I bought these because a dancer I liked and that I thought my feet were similar to had them. And these are fine, but they're not great. They're a little too blocky for me. Like in blocks, my feet tend to break lower other than the Heritage. So, or the shoe breaks too low on my feet and I look like I'm knuckling. So they just, even though I was in European Balance for a while, they just weren't the best. So I'm gonna, let's see, I'm gonna put these back over here. I'm just trying to make even like normal piles so I don't get things mixed up because I don't want that to happen. These are Grishko something. Oh, are these those? Yeah, the Maya one. These were supposed to be more like a Block Heritage. They're like, they have a nice V-cut vamp. They're fit, but I hate shoes that are sewn like that. I like being able to break them and do stuff, and I don't like these. Plus, these are like rock solid. These have never been good for me. They look nice. Block split sole. I don't know which ones these are. The split sole ones. I've tried these a couple times because I thought, like, great, these will work great for me because I struggle with my arch and getting over sometimes. But I think really it was just the shoes I was in because these didn't really work. Block Heritage. Those are not worn. What? Well, hold up here. Those need to go in that bin. Okay. Not sure how those ended up in there. Block Serenade. Again, another one I bought. Okay, a girl in Dance Academy was, the girl who plays Tara wears these, I think. And I think that's why I bought these. That's the only reason. But I got them, a lot of these shoes I did get like on eBay. So they weren't expensive. But back then you could get shoes in your size all the time off eBay. I can't seem to do it now, but a lot of these shoes I did not pay much for because people were just trying to get rid of them. So these were Block Hannah. These don't look worn either. I'm gonna guess these didn't work. I don't really know. I don't remember those. These are another pair of Block split soles because they came out with different models and they still didn't work. Oh yeah, these were Block Synthesis, and you can tell my teacher had me do so many things to them just to try and make them work. They still didn't work for me. They felt great when, like this, every point shoe, they feel fine when you get fitted for them, and then you go to sew them, especially sewing them seems to do it, but then also wearing them in class and they're terrible. So those didn't work out for a while. Block Soft Amelie. I did really like these. They just fit me way too small. They are 4.5X. I am 5X. They were fit by a lady who was very Russian in San Francisco, and she was like, no, they need to be tighter. And I'm like, okay. So they look a little beat up because I've mostly used them for photo shoots because I never wanted to sew them because the second I added any like elastics, they felt too tight. So, oh, those are the pair of sonnets. Oh, these are ones where they weren't the right size, so I cut into the vamp just to test it. But yeah, clearly I wore them enough though. They feel very soft. So what else we got here? We got, oh, this is another pair I really did a job to. I don't know what these are. They're Block something. I think I cut out where the name was. So I don't know what these are, but these were actually the ones I think where my teacher had me pulling them apart. And I think that's why then I did it to the Synthesis thinking it would help those, but no. So I don't know what those are. They're Block. These look like European Balance. Yes, they are. These still would be great shoes and they fit really well. They look great, but they just like, I knuckle in them. They break too low. Another pair of European Balance. Yep. I can usually tell because they look the same. Block Grace. These are the ones I'm pretty sure I got fitted for when I was in England, and they're fine. I don't know, where was it? The Synthesis. They're fine, but again, I don't love the ones where the sole is sewn on the back, and they just, again, I had issues with blocks fitting well. The Heritage is the one that does well. These are my original Block European Balance. These are old ones from when I got originally fitting them years and years ago. Like, look at how smushed the little box is and everything. Those are just dead. I wore those to the ground. Block Axiom. They have elastics sewn on them and they feel kind of soft, but I don't know if they just didn't work. They're pretty tapered, so I think at some point when my feet kind of changed, I switched to broader shoes. And I think that is part of this too, because there are a lot of shoes in here that are definitely more tapered, and a lot newer, like my more recent shoes are not as tapered. Block Heritage, these are definitely my beat up dead pair. Here's where I was talking about the ones that I used to wear that I can't wear now. Russian Points. I loved these shoes so much. Can't tell you which ones are which, because again, unless you save the sticker, they don't always tell you. But I know I wore the Rubens for a while, and then the Encore, which were these ones with the V-cut vamp, and I loved these shoes. Oh, we're overheating again, really? I loved the Encores so much, but look at how like small that platform is. So yeah, I have a lot of them. I think I tried the Saphir in here too, and I have even more somewhere down in these bags, but these are all Russian Point. They smell so good still. And they're like, are like a white satin. I don't know how to explain it, but they look so nice. I wore these for years, but they won't work anymore. They're just too tapered now. And I don't think they make those styles anymore. They got new styles now, so, because now they're called something else. So the rest in here are pretty much in bags, mostly. I'm not taking them out. They're probably all Freeds. Like, these are all old Freeds. Now, for a while, I was fit in the wrong size Freeds, and so that was a lot of my issues. So a lot of these are like a 4.5X, yep, which was not my style. If these had literally been slightly different, these would be my favorite shoes because I love 4XX in Freeds, but they're not. So I wore them a lot. I did a lot of work to them to try and make them work, but they just didn't. So when I finally got fit at Freed in London, I was like, oh my gosh, this feels so much better than the ones I was fit in before. So these are also Freeds. Oh, there's some Studio Operas. I hated those. The Studios did not work for me. I really liked the Classics. Obviously, I have not worn the Classic Pros because they're pitched and I can't do that. I need the Classic Pro 90. These are Block, Russian Point, Block Heritage. Oh, my original Block Heritage. Probably my original Rubens would be my guess. And then these are one of my oldest pairs of shoes. No, these are not. These are Russian Points that I painted red. I think with what's that company that makes them? I used to have them here. Paint, but they make point shoe paint. So those are just other dead shoes. Another bag of dead shoes. Oh, let's see. We have, I don't know what those are. Those are another Studio. I can't see. Classic Pros that did not work. Yeah, I know that now. And just a regular, but these are all the wrong size. So that's why. Here we go. These are my one of my original pairs of point shoes. They're ancient looking, and I did color them a long time ago. So these are Ballet Makers, which is now Capezio. I have no idea what these are now because there's really no way for me to tell, but they're really old. They're yellowed on the inside. So yeah, I have those. And then in here I have some more Russian pairs, which I like. But again, I wasn't positive if these were going to cause bug issues. So that's why I just went ahead and put all these in bags underneath where you don't see them. All right, now the ones that are not in bags. We have Fuzi's. I don't know. I hated these. Merlet, number 2. Hated those. Where's the other one? Sancha Etudes. Hated those. These are all ones people told me to try, and I would find them cheap, and I'm like, nope, these don't work either. And a lot of these, I worked at a point shoe or a dance store, and I fit point shoes for a little bit. Not long, but I would go in and try different shoes on just to see what worked. So it's not that I didn't know what I was doing. Siberian Swans. I don't know if anybody even remembers these. These are meh. They were okay, but I hated the fabric. They were really weird. So we have those. Oh, these. I wanted these to work so bad. These are Chicotte Cinderellas. They're the prettiest shoe. They are a matte shoe, which is weird. They already came with the ribbon stone. They are the prettiest shoes. But they never worked. They're the hardest shoes I've ever seen in my life. And this is coming from someone who can't wear Grishkos because they're too hard. Everything about these shoes was hard, but they were so pretty. So they just didn't work. Wear Moi, La Points. Oh, this was a girl I used to dance with who told me to try these because that's when I was wearing Russian Points. And she was like, you would probably do well in these shoes. And I did wear them for a while and I liked them, but they're a little too soft. These are already really soft. So I didn't really get to wear them for very long. Are these them too? No, actually, maybe she told me to get these ones. These might be the ones she told me to get actually, because these are really worn in. What are these? Prima Rus by I don't know. By Prima Soft, maybe. Okay. I don't know. These are the ones I think she told me to get. They're very dead and broken in too, but they weren't bad because they had a V vamp, which is what I generally preferred, especially when I was getting back on point originally. Now I'm a little more whatever, I'll wear whatever. Mirella Whisper, tried these. Those did not work either. Capezio, oh gosh, what are these? These are some ancient Capezios because it doesn't look like that anymore. So I don't know what these are. These may be some of my old shoes too. I don't actually know the answer to that. Wow, those are old. Okay, I don't actually know what those are. All right. These are my original Grishko 2007s, or at least one of my original pairs. I actually don't know how many pairs I went through when I was younger. They're so smushed now. They've been worn to death, even though they were terrible on me, because for a while, this is what I had. This is what I thought point shoe was, point work was. I didn't know there were other options. So here's another pair of Capezios. These might be the Donatellas or something, because these are different. So I don't know what these are since they're still in here. But either way, another pair of the newer types of Capezios. Oh my goodness. A pair that I pancaked for Russian Point. I do have other pairs of pancake shoes that I actually wear that are in my closet because I left them in a bag together because they get all over stuff. These are Gainers that I painted black. These are Russians that I painted blue. I used to love doing photo shoots in these. Now I'm not good. These are my Dream Points, I think. Yeah, I hated these. The Grishkos. that I painted purple. And then these two Grishkos I actually bought from a site that you could buy them colored, and I was so excited. But they were styles that I hadn't worn before, and like, even though they're in my size, because I know my Grishko size, like, I don't remember what these shoes specifically are, but they just never fit quite right. These ones were a little better. The red ones, I just don't remember what they were. Oh, these are the Triumph. These are the Grishko Triumph. I don't remember what the purple ones are, but they're not the Triumph, because I got two different styles, but they were cool. So that's, I know I'm missing some somewhere, but, because I also have the Ballet Divas, and I don't know where those went. They might be in a bag that I missed or something, but either way, these are all of them. I'm gonna have trouble now getting over to my camera to turn it off, so that's fun. Now I gotta put all these back. I forgot how many odd, like, random off-brand shoes I had. Let me keep these out. Those are pretty these for photo shoots or things. Yeah, I forgot how many of these my original ones. This is why I keep them. I love going back through them, but I also love occasionally like going and trying things on again and going, why did I hate these? And then trying them on and going, yep, that's why. Okay. And also my feet have changed over the years. Like, that is actually a true thing that's happened. I'm trying to figure out where to put things next. So my feet have changed over the years, which has made me move to different shoes. So what may have worked for me like 8 years ago hasn't worked for me for the last like 6 years. So I still have shoes from then. Or like, I got in the habit of always wearing narrow shoes because my feet are narrower, like a narrow platform. And I think now I've figured out my toe pad situation too, which is a huge part of it. Like, having good toe pads makes a world of difference. Perfect Fit Point are the best toe pads I have ever worn ever. I've gone through multiple pairs. I have also molded, I have a separate pair that's molded differently for my gainers. Technically, I think you're supposed to do it for every shoe, but I have all of my traditional shoes. I can wear the one pair that has the tape on the bottom. And then my gainers, I have to wear the other pair that doesn't have the tape, because I think I made the toes thicker on those. Like, I put extra padding, like extra putty in them and did them again. Just because I've noticed in my gainers, being in a 4-box, it's a little bulkier and I feel like I got more big toe pain. But since I've done that, solid. And then if I need to, I wear my second skin squares. So padding has helped a ton too. Hopefully, I don't know if this will help anybody or if this is even interesting, but here you go.